Hey guys, Nick2, how do you do? This video is going to be a response to, what's his name, Solo's knife review. Um, he's been talking about, he did a video about convex versus hollows and why he likes hollow grinds. And he was drawing some stuff and talking about it. He made some good points about why he likes it. But one thing stuck out to me, and he said um, that you got a hollow point right here, knife, with an edge. He said that the friction is gonna be right here and that's kind of bothered me because he didn't show any proof, at least in the first part, as to that fact. So I wanted to do some testing real quick to see if that's real, because I haven't done anything yet, and so I'm gonna use what he says is a properly done hollow grind, and one of my flat grinds, to see if there is friction, or he said that there's no friction there, right here. Hopefully you can see this, but he said there's no friction from here to here, which I don't know is true, but he didn't show any proof, at least in the first video. So let me see if we can do a little testing. So what I'm going to do is cut into some material. I got some leather here and some cardboard, and then shine a light through the back to see if I can see a light, where he says there would be no friction or no touching. So it's just going to cut in here. Let me just cut into the middle. And shine the light back here. It's on the right side. And I'm looking at it. It's like right up there. And I don't see any light coming out from where there's light down here, because I didn't push it all the way down. But there's still only light at the very bottom and at the top, so it seems that the cardboard is pushing in, against the entire part of the blade. So let me just cut in here again. See, we can add an angle. There seems to be a little light right here. And let me check this side. Get over. And it does seem like there's light coming through this side, where he says. But let's check. Let's flatten this out and see if you're cutting like into a large box, it's not going to bend on you like that. But let's check again. Let's see if I can focus better. It doesn't look to me like there's any light coming out in the hollow grind, actually, just in front of it. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any light coming out. So at least in cardboard, it looks like there's going to be friction the entire time. Let me cut in with a flat grind and see what that does. It looks just about the same. No light coming out. Let me, I got some thicker cardboard here. This is thicker stuff and this is thin stuff, so let me get that out of the way. And just cut in here. Yeah, it's kind of sticking in. But I don't see any light. So let's try the hollow grind. So that's sticking in. You can see that it's held up by the cardboard. And I still don't see any light on that side or coming out of the hollow on that side. So it looks like you're going to get friction all the way down, or all the way up the blade. at least in cardboard, with a hollow grind. I got some leather here. We can test that. Let me cut in. I can already see right now that this has some light coming through. Hopefully you can see that, but this side is more. You can see that the light's coming through. So it is true on leather, at least this thick leather, that you're gonna get. Let's try flat grind. You're gonna get less friction. But on the flat grind, you're gonna. It looks to me about halfway up the blade, the leather stops touching the blade. So hopefully you can see that. So on both of these, both blades in leather, cutting this way, you're gonna get less friction either way. This one's in the middle where the hollow grind is, and this one is where about halfway up the blade it just pushes it apart, and so halfway up the blade it stops touching. So that's just a couple of different tests. Cardboard, it seems, both get friction all the way up along the blade, and in leather, this hollow does reduce friction, and this top part doesn't add any friction. So I mean, if you look at where it was touching, from right here down and up here up, you know, it's probably about the same amount of metal as half of this blade. So really looks to me like the amount of friction you're going to get is even, at least in these two mediums, leather and cardboard. So that's just a bit of testing. It was just bugging me because he just drew it on paper and he didn't show any testing. So hopefully this testing will show you that this, at least in leather, it does reduce friction in here and has friction right up here. And this, at least flat grind, has friction on the first half and not on the second half, at least in leather. Both had friction the entire way on cardboard, thick and thin cardboard. So, you know, I learned a bit. Hope you learned a little bit. And, you know, one of the things that kind of bugged me is that he didn't do any experiments. But, you know, if his theory didn't go with experiment, then it was wrong. But, you know, it was, at least in leather, correct. So he has to, you know, put a little proviso. You know, it works in leather, but not in cardboard. And you guys can do your own testing in whatever mediums you guys cut often. But you know, cardboard is usually what I cut the most. That and tape. So you know, I prefer the flat grind rather than the hollow grind for those materials, and it works just fine. So guys, remember, keep your knife sharp, your mind sharper, and don't trust paper. You know, do experiments. Thanks for watching.